The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough, join the family. It's all love while we laugh at Bert's criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Ooh, oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.
Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? What is everybody up to? Good morning, Sofa Squad. Drop a number 1 off in that comment section for me if you can hear me talking. Pretty please, and thank you. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you, mods, for being here. Thank you, squads, for being here. Hello, Ginger and Emily and Audra. I hope y'all are having wonderful Sundays. Pardon me. Hey, Chrissy. Hey, Susie. I don't have my hey Sarah, hey Amanda, hey Kayla. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Thanks for all the ones. So, y'all, hey Shayna. What we're gonna do is just have a short little live to go over all the updates that have happened since yesterday and overnight. Because so much stuff has been going on, and I was like, there's too much to cover in tonight's like case updates with this. I figured we'd do this separately this morning and have coffee and stuff. I'm just gonna get my little screen pulled up over here so that I can be watching in the main thing or whatever. So there's that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get this pulled up, and then we're going to pull up. I think I have like 4 or 5 slides to go over. Pardon me. And that's what we'll do. A lot happened overnight. And I mean, I don't know what we're going to find out today, but I feel like we might be finding out something. Do I have insider knowledge? No. It's just kind of it's more than a feeling. Okay, let me get in this room right here. We're gonna mute that. Boom. Okay, now in this room. So there you go. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, everybody help yourself out to a big fry. And what the heck? It's Sunday, a honey bun. Okay, now let me open the screen up over here. We're just gonna go ahead and jump into everything. Okay, so obviously we have the new, we're going to pay the new letter from the family. So let's watch this. I have not watched this yet. So just, we're going through this together. So on the left, you see the Instagram. This is where they're doing this. And then over here is a little news thing. This is what we're going to watch.
What are you watching? What are you making of this new video tonight?
Well, first of all, this is very directed. The exact words that are chosen and the words that are said are definitely directed by our behavioral analysis unit of the FBI. And what they're trying to make happen is hopefully contact and hopefully a way to open up communication, and if payment can be made, hopefully to track that. But I've got to tell you, I don't think this is about money. It just seems to be about torturing this family.
Yeah, tell me more. Tell me more about that.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we'll have peace. This is very valuable to us and we will pay. Okay.
When you say that.
Well, In a kidnapping scenario, the
Hey,
kidnapper
Bren.
typically truly cares about the money, so they make contact early before law enforcement is involved. They don't ever involve the media. It's a situation that they want to have. They want to strike right when that family is first upset, right after the abduction, so that they can hopefully get money in a reasonable amount soon. But instead, they sent these notes to the media. And by the way, they sent 2 notes to the local media. Then later, 12 hours later, I think when they weren't getting the media play they hoped, they sent another note to TMZ. Natasha, this just seems like screaming for attention and suffering for this family.
Yeah.
Well, proof of life is typically critical. The FBI will not recommend sending anything. But again, these are recommendations. It is truly up to the family because it is their loved one and that life that is in the balance. So it is up to them to make the decision. And I see here that it seems like they are saying they will pay. And they're trying, I believe, to lure this abductor into making contact and providing instruction to get payment.
I see, because these intermediate steps, of course, will be watched so closely by the FBI and by law enforcement here. If money is indeed, or currency is indeed sent, is it possible to trace it adequately if it is going to this protected and anonymous account?
I think it's possible to trace, but whether it can be recovered is a whole different question, Natasha.
Very interesting. Now we're going to get back to that here in a second. So, you know what? Hold on. We're going to start a poll before we go further. Hold on. I'm just going to title it, "Do we believe someone close to the family did this?" to kind of encompass, like, that covers, like, for those that think, maybe the brother-in-law, or I'm sorry, well, I'm looking at it from the perspective. Let's look at it from the perspective of the mother, so the son-in-law. Those that think the son-in-law or the other daughter or whatnot, this could encompass a lot of things, right? So I'm just going to leave it at that. Let's start the poll over there. Now, okay, let's come over here and go to the next slide. Okay, now this is the other thing too that was popping off. Let me make sure y'all can see this one. So as like all this stuff's popping off last night, the Arizona chef Nano spotted at college basketball game of Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy, remains missing. A lot of people feel a lot of certain ways about the sheriff and like how this has been handled and what's going on and lack of knowledge and confusion and this, that, and the other. He's at a basketball game last night. Definitely people are feeling a certain way about that. So there's that one. Okay, let's go to this next one. And then we're going to look some stuff up after this too. Okay, now this is coming from Pretty Lies and Alibis. Miss Gigi, we love her. Okay, hold up. The dogs are barking in the background. I apologize. It's just that hour. So at Annie Guthrie's here home, see what appears to be unmarked police vehicles at the scene. White flashes are visible coming from the garage, which appears to be investigators taking photographs. See the video. Okay, then we're going to wait. Hold on one second. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, let me get back to this. Let me share. Hold on. I said it's more than a feeling. Now I got that song in my head. Here we go.
What you know, Alibuyers, I just wanted to update you on something new that's happening in the Nancy Guthrie case, aside from the video put out by all 3 siblings where they say they will pay the ransom. Police are back at Annie Guthrie's home, and I'm showing this on screen. This is from Sarah Witten's X feed. You can see that they are in the garage with the light, and you can see camera flashes going off. She also posted a video showing them getting out of one of the trucks with a silver briefcase. So I know Brian Enton is headed there. So if you are on X,
Thank you,
follow him,
Jocelyn.
and I will update you if anything else happens. So far, that's the only thing we know, but I'm keeping an eye on things. And if anything new happens, I will do another YouTube short. All right. We'll see you soon.
Again, thank you, Gigi. That's Gigi of Pretty Lies and Alibis. Be sure and give her a follow. We love Gigi. We love Gigi. Yes, we do. Wait, let me see if y'all are seeing the screen. No, hold on. Let me share this one instead. Please hold. Share this tab instead. This is Brian Enton of Brian Enton Investigates, his own channel or whatever.
Here outside Annie Guthrie's house, there's I think 3 law enforcement cars. We're not sure what agency they're from. There's this pickup truck, there's an SUV, and then there's another SUV behind there, I believe. But they've definitely been in the house taking photos. Like, there's no question about that because we've seen the flashes and we have some of the flashes on camera. And the interesting thing is they've been in different parts of the house taking photos. So we saw them over on this side, but then we also saw flashes coming from this side over here. So I don't know if they're going into every room or if there's certain rooms that they're focused on. But this is Annie Guthrie's house, Savannah's sister, Nancy's other daughter. She lived here with her husband. We've seen police here before. The FBI was here earlier last week. And then there was the day that the federal agents were here and went in with the ring light and the tripod when they made the first video, when Savannah and her siblings made the first video. Though we don't think that anybody is staying here now. Like Savannah and Annie and Annie's husband, I think, are all gone because it's been quiet here for like the last day or so. But the timing is just interesting. Like, why would they come tonight so late to just start doing this? I don't know the answer to that. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys a little update. I'm going to stay here, obviously, see how this all sort of wraps up.
Okay, so yeah, here's the thing. Hold on, let me get back over here. Let's watch this one, then we'll go.
No, Ala buyers, I just wanted to update you on the latest of what's going on over at Annie Guthrie's house. It looks like it was the sheriff's department that was there. They were inside the house a total of about 2.5 to 3 hours and seemed to be consistently taking pictures. The first investigator to leave was seen carrying a brown bag, and then the last officer to leave was seen coming out in blue gloves. So other than seeing flashes in the house, that's about all we know. I know that they were seen in several rooms, at least the flashes going off. So something clearly going down here. If there are any updates in the next couple of hours, I will let you know. I'm going to sit up. I'm on WebEx with some friends. We're just all multitasking and gathering information to try to stay on top of things. So I'll bring it to you here in a YouTube short, but that is it for now. Hope you guys have a good night, and we will see you soon. What you know, Alabama?
Okay, so let's stop and talk for a second. Okay, let's talk about the fact that they're at Annie's house late at night taking pictures, etc., etc. So again, Annie is the other sister, right? She has the husband, the son-in-law of the victim, brother-in-law of the other sister, obviously. Culinary Crime says, I think the person involved knew them or did research. I had no idea a news anchor makes that much money. Okay. Yeah, I'd imagine they make a lot of money, but I don't know how much they make either. My guess is like several $100,000, depending on who it is, like the kind of name. Like a Brian Enton, I would assume makes like several $100,000 a year. But I could be wrong. Not including his own podcast channel or whatever. Anyways. It would be so weird. $8 million a year. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of money. So Okay, wait. Then K4 says, do you see the comparison of the first family statement to the statement given by the mother in Silence of the Lambs? Oh, no, I have not seen that. But it's what makes me think of that. Literally, this whole thing is like, remember how in Silence of the Lambs where they kept saying the name over and over and over, trying to like make the victim human and like a person and all that type of stuff or whatever. So there's that. Pardon me. Okay, so for the people who are thinking, let's just say this, the people who are of the frame of mind of like Annie had something to do with it, or Annie's husband had something to do with it, or something of this flavor, right? Then I guess I sit here and look at it in this context from like, how odd that she's sitting here. Obviously, she would have to go along with and do these cry out for help videos, but how odd would that be that they're sitting there doing those and continuing to do those as something's taking place? So now, as far as I'm going back to the house and taking pictures, doing this, doing that, you know, and help me out here. Like, let's work on the timeline together for this little bit. So my take on it is this, like one of my takes or whatever. Okay. You know how, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, the mom went to, so Nancy went to Annie's house or someone's house, Annie's house for dinner, family time, whatever. Took an Uber over there and then was taken back home. So technically, and just help me out and correct me if I'm wrong on this, technically after the Uber driver dropped them off, except for garage door opening, etc., do they have any physical / technological evidence? And I'm not talking about just the Ring camera thing, because if they don't have proof of seeing Nancy on the Ring camera, what I'm getting at is, how can they confirm that she was ever back at her house and it wasn't somebody else? Do you see what I'm saying? Or if I've forgotten something where it's like, oh no, Paul, the Ring camera has a picture of Nancy on it here, 100%. But also you have the pacemaker connected to the phone, right? And that was at Nancy's house. So that would physically place her there. Like, you can't make that up. You see what I'm saying? I'm just walking myself through this because I'm also trying to question if they were trying to go over to Annie's house and then take pictures to be like, okay, did something take place here? Is this actually the first start of the crime scene? Yeah, Kayla says the blood things on the porch. So we had the blood things on the porch, and then we have the pacemaker connected to the phone at the house, which disconnects at a certain time, which kind of tells us when the victim and whoever left the house. You see what I'm saying? Someone said the cardiologist would be able to access the pacemaker info and see if she still had cardiac activity. Okay. Someone that knew them, not same family, but someone with intimate knowledge. So worried how to report the home device. Okay. Brother-in-law is scary. Hello. Yeah. Yeah, okay, blood evidence, pacemaker. Okay, yeah. So she was definitely there. So again, but then okay, I'm just going down like a whole bunch of stuff here. So if it was something to do with the sister and husband, and something took place at the home first, at their house first, then why would they go back? But then also, if they brought the mother back to the home, is there any kind of, have we heard anything about the sister's house having any kind of like Nest or Ring camera footage or anything of that flavor? Like, has anything come out with that we know of? Or that she doesn't have anything like that? Because that would also be odd to me. And not odd, I mean, some people don't have that, but I don't know. And I'm just kind of looking at your comments here on the other screen here. Okay, let's look at these last two clips and we're gonna look some stuff up. Okay, here we go. Please hold. I said it's more than a feeling. Da, 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 da. That song is absolutely stuck in my head now, y'all. Okay, now JLR Investigates has been there on the scene. This is a little tweet from him or whatever you call these things now. Authorities used luminol spray inside Annie Guthrie's home. They needed total darkness to do it. And then he replies to something. I saw the blue white lights. So there's that. I don't know if Shannon says we've not heard anything of the house. Okay. A reporter her missing from the church. Maybe the perpetrators didn't expect her. Oh, we're going to talk about that. Shayna sent me, and let me find this real quick. Now, JLR could be talking about, and I haven't seen his coverage personally on it. So you see how Brian's saying that it's like the flashes from the light or whatever, and JLR seems to be saying, let me go back to him. Authorities used luminol spray inside the Guthrie's home. They needed total darkness to do it. I saw the blue-white lights. Okay, so that's a different kind of light. Is anybody else reporting the luminol thing like JLR has? Have y'all seen this from anywhere else? Let's talk about the church situation. Okay, let me find my phone. Please hold. We're in a hold pattern. Shayna sent me. Shayna, do you remember? Did you text me those screenshots? I think you did. Okay, that's different. Let me look at the other phone. Please hold, everybody. Please continue to hold. Call us apparently. Okay, let me see. Where's Miss Shayna? Yes, I did take. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Miss Shayna, Miss Shayna, Miss Shayna, Miss Shayna. Yep, okay. This is 125. Okay. Now let me get this expanded. This is from a Daily Mail article here, okay? And this is talking about the church situation. So here's one of the things with the church situation. We're going to go through this together. So Nancy went to a church, and this is kind of like what popped it off, right? And this is just something with the timeline. A lot of people commenting on this. So let's definitely talk about this. Okay, so this, and I'm just going to kind of skim through it so we can go get through it or whatever. So it says, fresh doubt's been cast on the tip-off that first occurred. A fellow congregant at Nancy's church in Tucson, Arizona, was initially reported to have alerted the 84-year-old's family after she failed to attend a morning service on Sunday. Curiously, a source has now told the Daily Mail that the elderly mother of Today host Savannah Guthrie, 54, has not been at St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church for years. Ever since COVID, she has been worshiping online. It's understood that St. Andrews does not have a large-scale Zoom call for online viewing, as some religious organizations do. Instead, the church's 9 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. services on Sundays are live streamed, and it is impossible for other participants to know who else is watching. The sheriff has said that a congregant called Nancy's family at 11 a.m. on Sunday after she failed to arrive at church. Our source did not know who called the family, but said Nancy was known and loved in the whole community. The Guthrie family rushed to Nancy's $1 million home in the affluent Catalina Foothills neighborhood, arriving at 11:10 Sunday to find, and hold on, the mother of 3 missing. They reported her disappearance at 12:15. Her phone, wallet, daily medications, and car were all still at the property. The previous evening, Nancy had enjoyed a dinner with Savannah's 56-year-old sister Annie before playing Mahjong, a popular 4-player tile game. Guthrie's been a member of St. Andrews for at least 30 years. It's a big church and we know everyone, a source of the church said. Nancy is known and loved here and in the whole community. She was a faithful member here for so long. Just a lovely person. The mother of $8 million a year TV, Savannah, also attends seasonal services at daughter Annie's church, St. Philip's in the Hills, 5 miles away, where candlelight vigil will be held. Okay, so that's it right there. Okay. And I was talking to Emily about this too. Okay, so some of you might go to attend church in this way or attend church in person that also offers this. And like Emily brought up a good point here, because it is kind of like, these are my questions. Who was it? What child was it that went to the house? Was it all 3 of them, or was it just Annie? You see what I'm saying? Because if it was just Annie, and the husband, I would have questions about this. You see what I'm saying? That would be really like, huh. Now, when I was talking to Emily about the church thing, Emily was like, well, what if the mother, Nancy, was like somebody who commented a lot or said things in the chat or like whatever they had, whatever situation. And so when she didn't do that, that was like a red flag of like, well, where is she? Right? Like, why wouldn't she be attending or whatever? Now, this is going back 20 years, but, and this is completely separate, but you'll see where I'm going with this. Okay, so I used to work at a salon. I was like the shampoo boy, the books boy, the get you seated, and here's your coffee, all this, right? Okay, so we had a variety of clients, okay, and literally like family, right? Okay, whatever. So like very close relationship and whatnot. Okay, so wait, time out. Annie and the husband. So Annie and the husband rushed over there. Okay, that's interesting to me. So here's this. So like this lady had her standing wash and blow basically once a week. She didn't show up. Much older lady. Well, we panicked, right? Because I'm like, this is so weird for her not to show up and like stiff us on an appointment, basically. So we contacted, we have her family's phone numbers, but whatever. We also know somebody that goes to her church, this type of thing. We contact her, complete mix up. She was not going to be in town. It was our mistake, but nonetheless, it was like what happened here? Okay. Now, granted, she had an appointment there, but nonetheless, it was like this is out of the ordinary. And we also have contact information. So with the church thing, I go two ways. I'm like, okay, if she is involved in that way, and the church people are like, we all know each other, we all know this. I could see where if somebody was like, well, she wasn't even in the Zoom call. Yeah, but if they're saying we don't have a way to know who's there in the Zoom call, that's also odd. But if they also have a chat room where you can be commenting and stuff, you see what I'm saying? Like, I want to know, it's son-in-law, Rob Leo, SIL is son-in-law. I want to know what exactly that looks like. You see what I'm saying? Can they see who is there? Okay, wait, Kay says, I listen to our church every Sunday via Facebook. People just comment that they are watching. That may be how the church noticed she wasn't watching. See, Kay, that's kind of what I think too, if that part is legit, because I also think, I mean, they would be able to confirm though, if somebody from the church called that in. I would want to know this. I want proof of who called who. Like, can they get the physical person who called, I guess, Annie and the husband? See what I'm saying? Just to be like, oh no, a real person confirmed that they did it. Yeah, Casey, and hey, Casey, how's it going? Casey says they have to be able to know who's watching on Zoom. How do they know how much money people are giving them? Okay, this is true. Zoom will show who's on there. Yep. Yeah, Amber says, what church is it? You can see if they're on now. Okay, hold on. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Hold on. Okay. The church. Okay, of course, the screen goes dim. Hold on, I got to turn the lights up. St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church. At Nancy's church in Tucson, Arizona. Now, how many of those churches are there? I have no idea. So it's the St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church in Tucson, Arizona. I know my mom's church had a little thing like that, and it was like what you said, Kay, where it was I think it was on Facebook or something. So it was like you could tell who was there. So if the church thing is legit, I think there's ways that they could tell that she was not there, and it could have been a red flag to somebody, and they were like, hey, what's up? And so then I'm guessing that they called Annie and them, because one thing that is, and this is a good thing, but it happened so quick. That's one of the things that's kind of odd to it, where it's just like, you usually don't see that take place. But again, if it checks out that this is all legit, then great. But if it's a cover story, Barb uses Zoom for church. A lot of people do now. So Judy, what we're understanding is, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Annie that got the phone call from the church member? Do we have this confirmed? Do we know this to be true? Hey, Mighty Mouse. Now I'm going to look something up over here. So let's do this now. First of all, let me get back on this screen and stop sharing this. Okay, so how do I press stop sharing? I just press stop sharing. Okay, that was difficult. Hold on, let's do this. Y'all don't need to look at my little file cabinet. I know, it's fun. I get it. Oh, hold on. Okay, there we go. That's better. Sorry. It'll start showing you my stomach and food wrappers and all sorts of stuff we don't need to see, right? Okay, then we're going to come over here and we're going to say Nancy Guthrie. Please hold. Okay, we're going to watch this one. Hold on. Let me share this. We're going to watch this on News Nation. Hold on one second.
Let's decipher this new message, both the words that are used and the tone we heard from the Guthrie siblings.
Yeah, this is a major break here. Oh, when I say major break, remember there's two issues here. One is the return of the victim, and the family's willingness to pay. You know, if the purported amount of $6 million is accurate, that's a huge deal. I would say that since they are making this statement, that they have received information that would allow them to believe that their mom is alive. So that's the good news. Now, the bad news is that when $6 million ransom is paid, what does this do? This indicates to the world who is watching this that this is an avenue that could be explored by other people to do similar things. And so this is the big spag here that we everybody wants Mrs. Guthrie to return home safely to her family. Now, this won't stop law enforcement from continuing their investigation and trying to bring these people to justice.
In the videos that we have seen so far from the Guthrie siblings, they have really seemed to appeal to the captor's conscience here. We've heard them in past videos using mommy, of course, really trying to humanize Nancy Guthrie here. This latest video, though, it seemed to me, as somebody watching it, it seemed some defeat, if you will. It was more somber in tone. Do you think that something has changed behind the scenes as far as their messaging to the potential captors concerned?
Well, I think that they are working with the FBI and their behavioral sciences unit to craft that message. This isn't something that's just done off the cuff. This is being examined by the FBI and the law enforcement sources on the scene there, and trying to determine how best to couch their message back to the kidnappers. So this isn't done, simply throwing a camera in front of the family. This is carefully rehearsed and understood by the family that this is the verbiage that they should use with every intention to to create some dialogue between them and the kidnappers that will be compassionate.
This is day 8 now of the search for Nancy Guthrie. There are reports that there's a possible vehicle of interest in this case, but as of right now, there are no suspects, there are no persons of interest. We don't expect any new press conferences with authorities today. What do you make of the case and where it stands now?
Well, you can see that law enforcement is really, really active here. They are leaving no stone unturned. The FBI is playing a much more critical role here than the local sheriff's department. They have really entered into the fray here with all of the resources at their disposal. They have amazing forensic abilities and technical abilities. There is an all hands on deck type of mentality here, where all law enforcement is working as diligently as they can to try and bring her back and to bring these individuals to justice.
Okay, now hold on one second, y'all. I want to look up something else now. Please hold. Call is currently important. This isn't it. I'm trying to find something on the other screen. I'm trying to find the actual video footage of them talking without everybody making a commentary on it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is what we wanted. Okay, let's go here. Let's come over here. We're going to share. 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 We're going to kaboomy boom, kaboom.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us and we will pay. We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace.
Okay, initial take on this. Initial take on this. This is asking for remains to be returned to have a celebration of life. The vibe, 100%, the vibe that this is telling me is return her remains so that we can have peace and celebrate her life. I'm not trying to sound negative or anything like that. But that's this is the first time I've listened to that one verbatim. You see what I'm saying? So I've just listened to people commenting on it, and that's my initial gut reaction. Yes, there is a resignation. This is a sadness. This is they want the remains returned. So God, that gives me goosebumps. Oh my God, y'all. That is so terrible. This is really sad. So now again, now it makes me want to listen to what some of the other people were saying, because it makes you wonder what they found out. You see what I'm saying? Like what they found out. I'm just reading stuff. Did they receive a message? Donna says, did they receive a message saying that she is deceased and they are now asking for a body after 7 days with no medication? Does she pass? I mean, so this is kind of what I would think too. So she has these health situations going on, the pacemaker, the medication, the this, the that, the other, whatever. The fact that it's been 7 days, you know, that some blood was found, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I just, it's not looking good, you know. It almost then makes me feel like it's like, I don't, for whatever reason, I'm getting this vibe of like, this is bigger than the Sister Annie. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to describe it. And that could even be, I mean, obviously, I don't know. I'm just going off hunches and stuff like this, but like, even if it turns out that family or like she had something to do with her husband or whatever, it's almost like it's a bigger, there's way more people involved in this to pull this off. You see what I mean? Like this almost just feels like, because imagine this, imagine if they're getting updates from the people. You see what I mean? And it's like, why would they still be doing, why would she still be that? Well, obviously to make it look normal. I don't know. Let's listen to it one more time. Okay, hold on.
This is very valuable to us and we will pay. We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us and we will pay. We received your message and we understand.
Okay, when she says we received your message and we understand, right? And the way she said it when she went, and we understand. I just felt like almost like, I don't know, like the person that's telling them she's passed, or I don't know. But then if you think about it, pretend it's like a legit professional kidnapping, like no nefarious family stuff, whatever. Why would they tell her? Why would they switch it to, like, walk through this with me? Why would they switch it to your mother's past? Well, it could be this right here. Your mother's past, if you want her remains, you will still pay. Like, why would they tell her that the victim kidnapping his past? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, does anybody have any thoughts on that? Why would the kidnapper tell them that the victim has passed instead of just keeping it going as if you want to see your mother again? Traveler says they couldn't prove she was alive because she wasn't. Okay, yeah, they still want the money. They have no reason to tell them that. A professional wouldn't give 2 deadlines. They would have sent a note immediately. They would have sent proof of life. This is value to us, not she. They understand she has passed on, and they are willing to pay to receive her body for closure to celebrate her life. That's totally what I think, Julie. And that is where, so Salt City says, I don't understand why the kidnappers didn't contact media for days if it was truly a kidnapping. None of this fits into what we know about crime, right? Yeah. And then Bandit says no proof of life. So that right there too could be they must have shown the body. Okay, yeah. So I wonder if there is like well, we're not paying till we see proof of life, whatever. If they sent a picture of, okay, here's your mother. She is not. Here she is. Creative says it's like the abduction wasn't part of the original plan. And see, that's what I get too. Oh, yeah, that's true. But also, okay, let me look at it bigger. Somebody just said 2 of the 3 are wearing black. Betty Boop. Is the sister in brown? Is Annie wearing green or is that black? Let me pull her thing up. It looks green. I mean, my God, this is just so sad. The looks on their faces. Oh my gosh. Oh, Peachy Keen, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. For anyone who just received a membership from Peachy Keen, if you refresh your screen or go out and come back in, you can use like member emojis and stuff. Thank you. You think the brothers were in Navy? Okay, yeah. See, it's hard for me to tell. Okay, yeah, I see that. Yeah, definitely. Lindsay says resign for sure. I totally agree. Yeah, and looking Andrew says if she's no longer alive, then where is the body being held after all this time? I mean, good question, right? Literally. Hey, Hidden Shadows, how's it going? Yeah, Amber Merchant say they look crushed. 100% agree. Okay, now let's do this over here. Okay, hold on. Let me go look something else up. Please hold. Okay, do it. Oh, thank you, Terry Cat, for gifting 5 memberships. That's sweet of you. Oh, you did. Let's check out this one and see. Share this tab instead, and then this, and then this.
What are you watching? What are you making of this new video tonight?
Well, first of all, this is very directed. The exact words that are chosen and the words that are said are definitely directed by our behavioral analysis unit of the FBI. And what they're trying to make happen is hopefully contact and hopefully a way to open up communication, and if payment can be made, hopefully to track that. But I've got to tell you, I don't think this is about money. It just seems to be about torturing this family.
Yeah, tell me more. Tell me more about that when you say that.
Okay, we watched this one at the very beginning, but let's just watch a little bit of it again because I want to kind of now with having listened to the video again, I want to see what they say. Because her saying this is about torturing the family, it's not about money, is very interesting.
Well, In a kidnapping scenario, the kidnapper typically truly cares about the money, so they make contact early before law enforcement is involved. They don't ever involve the media. It's a situation that they want to have. They want to strike right when that family is
Okay,
first
Shayna.
upset, right after the abduction, so that they can hopefully get money in a reasonable amount soon. But instead, they sent these notes to the media. And by the way, they sent 2 notes to the local media. Then later, 12 hours later, I think when they weren't getting the media play they hoped, they sent another note to TMZ. Natasha, this just seems like screaming for attention and suffering for this family.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see the suffering for this family.
Thank you,
I'm interested with
Peachy.
your experience with the FBI. How does this work when there are enormous ransom demands? How does one decide to pay this in conjunction with law enforcement? Is it entirely in the family's decision-making sphere? How
Hey, Shayna, the thing that you sent is it's I don't think it's the correct link. It's like to 2 dogs doing dancing or something. Just check the link you sent.
does one advise around authenticity or proof of life? And can this be traced effectively if it is sent to an anonymous Bitcoin or crypto account?
Well, proof of life is typically critical. The FBI will not recommend sending anything. But again, these are recommendations. It is truly up to the family because it is their loved one and that life that is in the balance. So it is up to them to make the decision. And I see here that it seems like they are saying they will pay, and they're trying, I believe, to lure this abductor into making contact and providing instruction to get payment.
I see, because these intermediate steps, of course, will be watched so closely by the FBI and by law enforcement here. If money is indeed, or currency is indeed sent, is it possible to trace it adequately if it is going to this protected and anonymous account?
I think it's possible to trace, but whether it can be recovered is a whole different question, Natasha.
We see President Trump, meanwhile, saying that there are very strong clues in this case, that answers will be coming soon. Let's
Okay, Anna, we have this over here. Hold on, let me get this thing that Shayna just sent. Please hold. Okay, local Arizona news station reveals hefty Nancy Guthrie ransom amount. This is by Ashley Soriano 4 minutes ago. Um, has released. Okay, local TV station has revealed the ransom amount demanded to return Nancy. Earlier this week, Tucson, Arizona outlet said it received a ransom note from the supposed abductor of the Today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie's mother. It was for $6 million. News Nation has not independently confirmed the ransom amount, has not viewed the note. We reached out to the FBI for comment. This comes after the Guthrie siblings posted a second video message addressed to their mother's captor saying, "We will pay." So $6 million allegedly is what they're after. Police seen leaving Annie Guthrie's home with gloves, brown bags. Previously, various outlets reported the ransom request was for Bitcoin, not US dollars. It is unclear which letter the Guthries are responding to in the Saturday video. Multiple ransom notes have been sent out to the media, including one that was sent to us, and most recent one being sent to another station here in Tucson. KGUN reporter JJ McKinney said on air Saturday night, and the letter sent to KGUN 9, the potential kidnappers demanded the Guthries pay them $6 million before this Monday at 5 p.m., threatening Nancy's life if the deadline was missed. But I mean, they had, so this is the thing. Hold on. The outlet posted the reporters live. The outlet posted the reporters live shot to X, but has since deleted the post. TMZ. Okay, sorry. I thought nothing. And local outlet KOLD also said they received a ransom note, but did not reveal specifics. The Guthries drawn faith, seventh day. Police were seen at Annie's home late Saturday night. After 3 hours, deputies were seen coming out of the home with blue gloves and brown bags. Nancy Guthrie. Okay. Let me come back to y'all. Thank you, Shayna. So let's get this straight. So here's a couple of things. The whole thing of the multiple ransom notes being sent to multiple places, the multiple deadlines, and the multiple forms of payment and amount is so weird to me. And like that FBI person was just saying, like, this is meant to humiliate the family. It's not about money. I mean, again, I don't know. Obviously, FBI people deal with this stuff on a regular basis, so they know how this goes. You see what I'm saying? So they would know more because I guess I'm like, okay, so what's the humiliation ritual here? Right? Like it's odd. Now we've already heard that, like, yes, nobody's staying over Annie's house anymore, whatever. I get it. I mean, you see where it's everyone's over there filming every second of that. So it's probably considered some form of a crime scene. I mean, it's where the victim was at before she's last seen, right? She goes from there back home. So whether they had anything, whether it's confirmed that, Annie had something to do with it or not, when we find out, regardless, there's stuff that would need to be um you know what I mean, gone over or whatever. So that part to me is very odd. Now, again, okay, the ransom notes can be for people wanting to be opportunistic. It doesn't mean it's the kidnappers. And that's very true, Jana. Yeah, very good point. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, when things like this pop off, and we talked about this yesterday in the live, like with Jean Bonnet and like these like mega famous cases and whatnot. And there's like oftentimes people will insert themselves in it, whether it is for monetary opportunity, attention, mental health situations, things of this nature and whatnot. So because this is just this instantaneous, like boom, again, the same, and I don't know any other way to say it because I don't want to sit here and like point the finger and be like, oh, I think it's the sister. Oh, I think it's the, whatever. There's definitely a red flag feeling with this. And again, I just describe it in this way. It's the same feeling that you get when the Sherry Papini thing popped off. It's the same feeling you get when the Carly Russell thing popped off. It's the same thing you get when the Tiffany thing popped off, the girl who was hiking and lived off hot tea and, whatever. Where the story is so absurd and, quote, perfect that it's odd, that it's like something's not making sense here. And so with this is what I get this feeling. Does that mean that I think the sister did? I don't know. Does that mean I think the brother-in-law did? I don't know. Right? Like there's something odd about it. I don't think Savannah has anything to do with it for sure. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the one thing I can say. Yeah, I don't think Savannah has anything to do with it. I don't think the brother has anything to do with it. The fact that they're still resonating so much around Annie and by proxy of Annie, the Jesus girl culinary, right? That's how everybody knows Carly Russell. They call her the Jesus girl. But remember how that story was like, oh, I pulled over. There's a kid walking on the side of the road, and then she disappears. Her car's there, and like it was just weird. And people are like, well, wait a minute, her wig's on the side of the road. What? Like things just didn't add up. And something about this, there's just something not adding up. Now, let's say this. Let's pretend that, and good point. Barb says sister could not know what happened even if her husband was involved. 100%. Why is this thing following me? Okay, this thing right here, this thing's getting in trouble. I talk with my hands and I have to go in there and turn that off. I talk with my hands and it turns the motion tracking on, right? The obvious thing is Paul, stop talking with your hands. That ain't possible. Right. I'm going to mute you for a second while I open this up. Okay, sorry. So, and yeah, so back to the point there of Barb, I think you said that of like, well, Annie, her husband could be involved. She doesn't know, literally, right? It could turn out that she has nothing to do with it. It's just weird because again, I would expect the cops to be at her house, regardless if she's involved or not. The fact that was kind of the last place the mother was at, it's almost like this in an investigation where they're like, we start from the center and we work our way out. So for me, it's like, okay, they probably quickly eliminated that Savannah had nothing to do with it. Boom, mark her off the list. Okay, then from there, where was she seen last? She was at your house for dinner. Okay, let's get back over here. let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Okay, so then what happened? You took her over to the house. Okay, we need to see her car, right? So a lot of that is, to me, again, and I don't know, I don't have any kind of law enforcement background. I don't have any of that, right? Like, so this is just like a sofa speculation, but I would just think that would be proper investigation, to be like tracing the last movements, and wherever those movements took place, you are going over it with a fine-tooth comb. I would expect them to want to go through the car, however she traveled from the home, whoever took her home, to the from the sister's house back to her house. I would expect them to want to go through that car. Clearly the mother's house. Obviously, this is the crime scene, right? So that's obvious. You know what I'm saying? I would have liked for it to have been sectioned off the entire time. I could see them going back over, and if they're not getting past that, like if the investigation isn't moving them outside these spots we've just talked about, and it's like, let's go back to the house again. Let's start back there. Let's start back at the last known spot. So to me, that's where, when you hear, pardon me, these investigators say we work our way out and we go where the leads take us. And if the leads take us here, then great. So do I think it's interesting that they're back at Annie's house taking pictures and doing this? Yes. That tells me that the investigation isn't expanding past that. Now, here's the other thing too. Let's pretend that they think that Annie or someone related to her, like maybe one of her husband's cohort, whatever. Let's pretend that they're thinking that. They're going to, this is what they should, right? They're going to pretend to let everybody do this thing. So if they're sitting there like, look, we think she has something to do with it, but we're going to let her make these little videos with her family and act like ain't nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Until we get enough evidence to figure out otherwise. They don't know, right? So when I say all of this is normal, not normal, but like some of it's expected until they find out otherwise. You see what I mean? So, and apparently, yeah. So then you have the whole thing about Ashley Banfield. And I haven't seen what she said. I haven't seen anything from Ashley today. She might have posted. I just haven't seen her personal stuff. Ashley Banfield was like, I have the source. It's rock solid. It's this. Right. And they are saying, what was it that she said again? That they think that it's I can't remember now what she said, y'all. Did she say that the source is saying that it has something to do with the brother-in-law? I'm sorry, the son-in-law to Nancy and Annie. Was it specific? Yeah, why did they call the search off so quickly around Nancy's house? Do they know something? Yeah, I question that too. The son-in-law made okay, thank you. So and Ashley was very big on the wording where she was like, the son-in-law may be the prime suspect as of now. So if that was the case, and that's what was, when she say this 2 days ago, and they're back over at the house, because again, like y'all said, Annie might not know anything. The son-in-law could, he could have pulled it off his own little thing, and Annie could be like, huh? You never know. I mean, if we follow these cases, you see the insane stuff that people come up with that they can pull off. We just got off of the what's his name? What's the trial we just watched, y'all? The au pair trial. I mean, that was such an insane plot. You're just like, what? People come up with the most craziest things. So pretend we find out today. Bam, we've got the evidence. Son-in-law did blank. Annie had no idea about it. Thank y'all, Banfield. I think I mentally blocked his name out. Pretend we find that out today. Son-in-law did this. Annie had nothing to do with it. It's proven. We know that. Would not shock me. Pretend that we find out it's just some random kidnapping. This is just somebody trying to, be political or this or that or whatever. Wouldn't it shock me? Oh my God, Annie had something to do with it. Wouldn't it shock me? At this point in time, with as insane things as people pull off and these headlines and whatnot, literally nothing shocks me. Right? It's just anything is Corey Richards' trial coming up. Look at the insanity of that. And that's from several years ago. So that's where I'm just like, you know. And Missy says, yeah, why is the son-in-law not denying all the rumors about him? And you know what? Good question, Missy. Let's go over here and do this real quick. Please hold. I'm going to I'm going to write a letter. Y'all remember that from who was that from? That I'm going to write a letter. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Okay, so this is from, where is this? MSN.com. Tommaso Cioni, Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law, was called a, quote, great manifester. This is by Jessica McBride. This is 4 days ago, but this is just in general because I haven't like delved too deep into him. Okay, so Annie Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie's daughter, is married to Tommaso, and she once described him as a great manifester and poet. He features prominently on Annie's Facebook page. Well, please, don't have to ask me twice. Surely it's blocked. Surely. Yeah. Okay, anyways, let's get back to the article. Where she posted a photo showing him standing in a snowy landscape. It's 6 years old, but still listed among her page highlights. Another photo from 2021 shows him holding a handful of berries on a hike. Well, don't have to ask me twice. We'll click. Oh, yeah, they got that locked down. That Facebook page is locked down. Okay. Hey, Betty, how's it going? Okay. Much of Annie's page focuses on her writing and poetry, which is the discipline, she said in an interview that she shares with her husband. Journalist Ashley Banfield is alleging that Cioni may be a suspect or a person of interest in the disappearance of Nancy. He is Nancy's son-in-law and Savannah's brother-in-law. Nancy, she disappeared. That goes into that. The claim about Tommaso was subsequently picked up and reported by outlets like TMZ, but there has been no confirmation from authorities that he is being looked at. In a news conference on February 3rd, the sheriff was vague about most aspects of the case. For example, when asked whether there was a ransom note, as TMZ is also reporting in the case, he wouldn't say, and asked whether Nancy's disappearance on January 31st after dinner with Annie was random or targeted, authorities said they don't know. According to TMZ, it's not clear whether Cioni was present at that final dinner with Annie. Pause there for a second. This is 4 days ago. Does anybody have any confirmation of where he was at that night? I assumed he was there. Does anyone have any confirmation from anyone where the son-in-law / brother-in-law, or whatever you want to call him to the people, where he was at the night of the dinner? So no one has come out publicly and said whether he was there. They towed both Nancy and Annie's cars. They towed a car from Nancy's house, Nancy's car, and a car from Annie's house. Okay. Oh, thank you, Savannah. So nobody's seen anything. Okay. So I just naturally assumed, we all know what assuming does, right? Hold on. It's never been disputed he was there and dropped her off. Okay. Yeah, in my mind, and again, there's two things. I envisioned it being a family dinner, so him being there, right? Okay, I'll look his band up in a second. Him being there, and then I went back and forth because we heard something. So the son-in-law drove Nancy home. I believe this is the official story right now. I have heard Uber also used. Okay, so yes, and thank you, Dreaming. I saw. That's what I thought too. I thought he drove her home, but then because I assumed that he was there, and in my mind I was like, oh, he drove her home, which is weird because I'm like, well, why wouldn't she drive him home? But then I don't know. I'm like, well, maybe they drink or whatever. Maybe she was like, I had a couple of glasses of wine. I can't drive mom home. I'll be doing blank while you run mom home. You see what I'm saying? Like that would be kind of normal, right? Oh yeah, the 4 people for the game. So who would be the 4th person? Very much tight-lipped on who was like speaking out. What happened that night at the dinner? What took place? Because I can tell you this right now. I can almost assure you the public satisfaction would be, and I'm not saying like we need this because I get they are doing the investigation, but whoever is interviewing these people and they're like, what happened at the dinner? What was the conversation? What was the vibe? You see the interviews that we see people give. They would probably be able to get a vibe of like, oh, Annie's son was at the dinner. Yeah, Salt City says my husband and I split duties all the time. Exactly. Yeah, like that to me would be pretty normal, right? They have children. Okay, that's right. And Stephanie said, and hey, Stephanie, how are you doing? Stephanie says that is the thing. She has been told this is not the case. She doubled down, which if it goes to trial has tainted the jury pool. And Stephanie, you're talking about what Ashley Bamfield said. Okay, what's the name of the? Well, hold on. Let me finish reading this. Don't let me forget. When we finish this, I want to look the band up. Okay, 'cause I want to see that too. TMZ is also reporting that Annie's car was towed, but authorities have not confirmed that either. Neither Sione nor Annie has been accused of wrongdoing by authorities in connection with the disappearance, which is also being investigated by the FBI. And then Annie Guthrie, a poet, described her husband as a teacher in an interview. Annie Guthrie confirmed that her husband, that Tom is her I'm sorry, that Tom is her husband in an interview with Women's Quarterly Conversation, which described Annie as a writer and jeweler from Tucson. She's the marketing director at the University of Arizona Poetry Center, where she recently curated a national symposium, Poetry Off the Page, featuring poets who work in hybrid multimedia forms and in other art forms such as film, theater, books, and dance. My husband Tom is my greatest teacher. He is a great manifester. He writes poetry with his lifestyle. Pardon me. She added, he's 50 years old. Okay, here he goes. So Tom is listed as playing bass and vocals for a Tucson band called Reverb Nation. Okay, so hold on one second. Let me look this up. Wait, that's not the name of the band, though. For a band called Reverb Nation, is that it? Because that's like a thing where people like list their music. Does anybody know the name of the band? Early Black. Okay. Can you please hold? Early Black Band. Okay, so Early Black is a Tucson-based indie grunge band formed in April of 2007 by Dominic Evans, Thomas Sione, and Walter Goncalves Jr., known for gritty, melodic sound often compared to early 90s rock. They have released music on platforms like SoundCloud and Reverb Nation. That's where the article got it. Okay. Okay, and then Reverb Nation with this. Okay. Okay, y'all, this is what I'm going to do for a second. I'm going to mute y'all for a second so I can play this real quick. Because if I play it with y'all on here, it will mess the stream up. So hold on one second. Never mind, it won't work over here. Hold on. I'll do it on something else. In fact, let me come over here now. Hold on. Now I want to hear. Hold on. Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to mute y'all while I put this on. Hold on. Okay, so that was like a live version at some club they played at She's Lounge in '09 in Tucson, Arizona. So, I mean, it's whatever. The first comment under this says, "You know why you're here." 2 days ago. Legit, right? And then the person says, "Yep." And then the other person, "I actually thought maybe a Black Sabbath cover band. Fairly decent songs, though." That is so funny. There's only 3 comments on it. There's only 1.3 thousand views on it. This person's like channel, it's like something 9 subscribers, watch, they're about to blow up. Like, you just never know, right? I can't understand the lyrics, but it does sound like, just think of like random, like, okay, so I'm 48, so the 90s were my high school years. This is giving that 90s alternative kind of grunge rock. You know what I'm saying? Not Nirvana, Pearl Jam-ish, just that whole genre, that vibe, right? Yeah, Soundgarden, like that kind of thing, whatever. So, see, this person's getting ready to be YouTube famous with some clip of like something from like 20 years ago, right? Yeah, Pearl Jam was so good, right? I can't play them on the other thing because it makes you buy the music and do all this. I'm like, I'll find it for free elsewhere. Anyways, okay. So let me get back to this. Okay. So there's that. Okay. Let's see what old Nancy Grace has to say. Nancy Grace tells suspects in the Nancy Guthrie case and shoots down son-in-law theory. Nancy says, we ain't doing the whole son-in-law theory. Okay, Nancy's weighing in. She appeared on Entertainment Tonight. First, Grace, who knows Savannah from their time working together at Court TV, dissected the video of Today host and her siblings, Annie and Cameron, pleading for their mom's safe return. In the video, okay, yeah, this is what Nancy says. There's something in that ransom note that's accurate, Grace discerned. There's reportedly 2, some people say 3 ransom notes that are the same thing sent to different news outlets. You have to look at who would send the ransom note to the local station there, obviously a local, and to TMZ. Grace pointed out that Savannah and her siblings are working with law enforcement and said she doesn't think they would have issued a public plea if they did not find something believable in the ransom note. She also said she is certain that the person who allegedly abducted Nancy is a man because of statistics. The blood outside of Nancy's door also struck Grace. It's not a bludgeoning, she guessed. It's not a gunshot wound. It's not a cohesive amount of blood from a knife wound. It looks like Nancy was walking out and that she was upright. Encouraging. Grace on a theory first reported by Ashley Banfield that Annie's husband, Tom, we're going to call him Tom for right now, is a suspect in the case. Police have made it clear they do not have a person of interest at this time. She does not believe that Tom is a suspect. I could be wrong, but I find it very hard to believe that the sister and Savannah and Cameron are going to make a public plea to an unknown kidnapper when they all think it's the brother-in-law, she explained. It just doesn't make sense to me. The former host urged law enforcement to focus on the ransom note, as there is a lot to be gleaned from it, including the manner it was sent, which she believes was probably digital. She said there should be focus on people in the local area that knew where Miss Guthrie lives, that knew she's connected to Savannah, she continued. If the ransom note is real, we have indications that it may be, then this is all about money, who has a money problem and who has a connection to Miss Guthrie there. Interesting. Now here's where, and again, Nancy's been doing this for quite some time. So I would, whatever, trust her more than my opinion. My little opinion is, on this is when she's like, well, why would they let them be doing these things if they think the brother-in-law did it? And I'm like, oh, I think they would let them do the little pleas to keep them busy and be like, no, let them make the thing. If they think the brother-in-law did it, they would just let them keep doing it as normal until they get enough evidence to make an arrest. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing as these cases where we see where the people are pleading for the safe return of someone, that it becomes very obvious that they had something to do with it. Letitia Stalk, these kind of situations where it's like, just let them, like, it's almost like just let them play over there and entertain themselves. They're just burying themselves deeper. You know what I mean? While we're gathering the evidence over here. You see what I'm saying? So that part, I disagree with Nancy on. I'm like, oh, I think they let them do whatever. If they're all sitting there like doing, cartwheels in the parking lot, let them keep doing them, right? We're trying to get the evidence over here. And we're learning about it. They think that it's the brother-in-law. They're probably studying Annie. You know what I mean? Being like, how is she acting? What is she doing? I mean, I don't know. Hold on one second. Of course, it's weird if that's the case. We find out that the family had something to do with it, meaning his brother-in-law, whatever. Well, of course, it's odd that his wife, Annie, the sister, the daughter, is up there pleading for a return. But again, like someone said, it could be a situation where she doesn't even know that the husband had something to do with it. Okay, hold on one second. I'll take a sip of this. So, yeah, her body language, again, if she's going to get up there and do that, it's almost like, again, if you're trying to eliminate everybody, then let the family speak. Let them make videos. Think Barry Morphew. Look what he did. He's up there making pre-recorded TV commercials. You know what I'm saying? Let him do that. Okay, so Lolo says, Paul, have you read any of Annie's poetry? I have not. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it scary? Is it whatever? Hey, agent, how's it going? Please hold. Hold on, we're gonna look her up real quick. Okay, so Annie, so I'm on her, well, hold on, I can do it over here. I'm sorry, I do it on my other computer screen and then I forget. I can just do it over here and share it with you. So Annie Guthrie poetry. Okay. So this is the University of Arizona Poetry Center, and this is Annie here. This is her headshot for her, stuff. Annie Guthrie is a writer and jeweler from Tucson. Guthrie is author of a book of jewelry design with chronicle books and a book of poems, The Good Dark, with Tupelo, I hope I'm saying that right, Press. She was awarded a 2016 Arizona Commission on the Arts Fellowship to complete a book of nonfiction. Guthrie is currently marketing and publicity director for feminist/activist Core Press and runs a commission-only jewelry business at the Splinter Brothers and Sisters warehouse. She has been teaching the discipline of oracular writing since 2009. Is that it? Well, then let's just go on over here. So we are going to be looking up, where's her book? The Good Dark. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me get over to y'all. Hold on. I'm just going to read this one on the screen. Okay, so the this is a little, how when you do a Google search and it gives you an AI overview, okay? So it says The Good Dark AI overview. The Good Dark primarily refers to two distinct artistic works: a 2015 poetry collection by Annie Guthrie, exploring consciousness and mysticism, and an upcoming psychological thriller film. Oh, yeah. So that's not us. Key works entitled The Good Dark. So the poetry book. Published by Tupelo Press, this collection is structured in 3 acts: unwitting, chorus, and body, and explores the, quote, mystic experience, end quote, and the complexities of human consciousness. It is described as a, quote, lyric voice, end quote, investigating what connects and separates us from the world, utilizing themes of silence, intimacy, and a broken selfhood. Okay. I mean, then let's look over here to Palo Press. Okay, so this is... Okay, let me do this one over here. Hold on. So, please hold. So, The Good Dark, book by Annie. Yep, that's the one. Okay, to Palo Press. Yep, thank you, thank you. Okay, now let me share this with y'all. And we're going to come over here. We're going to go boom. Good Dark. There you go. Boom. Okay, let me make sure y'all can see this. Okay. So this is the book. The Good Dark. It's 1995. It's by Annie Guthrie. And the sequence of poems comprising Annie's first book, The Quest for the Meaning of Human Consciousness and Its Tangled Subjectivity, it's drawn as a slow-burning narrative of the mystic experience. The journey enacted is that of the self as character who encounters insurmountable mysteries and a breaking selfhood. A dossier of contemplative exploration, The Good Dark chronicles an immersive search in 3 acts, unwitting, chorus, and body, stations through which the character must pass, and where she is accumulatively confessed, compounded, and erased. About the author. Annie Guthrie is a writer and jeweler living in Tucson. She has a metalsmithing studio at Splinter Brothers Warehouse and can be found through her website. Okay, hold on. We're going to look that up in a second. Hold on. Please hold. Let's go ahead and copy that whole thing right there. Okay. She teaches at the University of Arizona. Okay, yeah. Let's get down to here. Advanced praise. Her brief and nicely spaced poems give us an occasion to think, to compound our interest in what is seen and heard, but more. The stillness and flow vibrating between. The book is thankfully not a compilation of poems with complete pictures. It is more a reflection of the contours of thought. The technique is the art here, and the art is the technique. Dun-dun-dun. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, now let me come back over to y'all. Let me come back over to here. And then go boom, boom, boom. That side's down. She said, nope. We got to take that down. So, yeah. There's a lot going on there. Okay, a lot going on there. She writes beneath the darkness, above it, next to it, upon it, below. And the good dark, there's softened prisbies. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. So yeah, we're gonna see. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So that's kind of like the updates we have for now. So I'm gonna be going and starting my Sunday. Now, heads up, 7:00 tonight, I'm gonna do my case updates where we're gonna go over the cases and what's coming up this week. We're traveling to Columbia for Alec Murdaugh's hearing for his appeal. Obviously, there's probably going to be more updates by the end of the day today. So if something pops off, I'm going to do another like spur of the moment live chat or whatever. Or if it's like not hardcore, we'll do it at the 7:00 updates tonight as well. You see what I'm saying? So there's that. Thank you, mods, for being here, for hanging out. And this is kind of a last minute live, but so much stuff happened overnight. I was like, I got to talk about all this, right? And that's kind of it. Thank you, Sofa Squad, for being here too. We'll keep following this. It's a tragic. So whatever ends up happening, this poor woman has met some horrifying fate, right? Who knows who at the hands of? It's absolutely tragic. My heart breaks for her. My heart breaks for her family, and the truth will come to the surface. It will come to the surface soon, I think. So we'll see. Anyways, that is it. I love y'all. Thank you for being here. Like I said, by default, I'll see you at 7:00 tonight. Or if something else pops off or whatever, I'll see you before then. Again, thank you, moderators, for being here. Thank you, Sofa Squad, for being here. Have a beautiful, wonderful Sunday, and I will see y'all here, I guess, in a few hours.
The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough, join the family. It's all love while we laugh at first criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Oh, oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh please, the puppies need me. Oh please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.